Okay, question 11 of the review says the surface area of this triangular prism would be calculated as which of the following A, B, C, or D? Well, I'll tell you what. Triangular prism, hopefully by now, when we're talking about surface area, you understand it's made up of two triangles, those are the ends of them, and three rectangles. Those are what makes up the surface area of any triangular prism. So with that in mind, I have to understand, okay, I need two triangles. What's the formula for the area of a triangle? Well, it's base times height divided by 2, and that in itself is probably another 10-minute video as to why that is. But if I have two of them, I can double it like that. So that would say two triangles, or two areas of triangles, base times height divided by 2. And two rectangles, there would be, in this particular case, because we have what's called an isosceles triangle, which means that the two sides on the left and right are the same length, and the bottom is a different length. That's called an isosceles triangle. So really, we have two rectangles. This one on the top, if you want to think of it as a tent, it's one of the roofs of the tent, and on the other side would be the other roof of the tent. Those are going to be identical rectangles. So the area of a rectangle is length times width, and one of them we're going to have two rectangles like that, and then we're just going to have to add to it another rectangle. So if I put all this together, my formula would be two triangles plus, in this case, two rectangles plus one more rectangle. And I look down at my formulas and I'm saying, oh, well, there's no B's or H's or L's or W's. What's going on here? Well, they've substituted numbers. So I look at my first one and I look at my second one, and I see what I need to see. I see 2, and then in brackets, a 4 times 6 divided by 2, and then in B we see 2 and 5 times 8 divided by 2. So I have to say, okay, which one is the triangle? Well, I look back here. My base is 6, and I see that in the first one, I have, actually I don't have either one of them. What's going on here? Oh, the height is 4. Oops. The height's 4, not the side length. I'm a big dodo. Oh well. A is my answer because what it says is 2, and it doesn't matter in terms of if it's 6 times 4 or 4 times 6, base times height or height times base divided by 2, plus 2 of the 5 by 8 rectangles, the 5 by 8 rectangles, and 1 of the 6 by 8 rectangles. Now some people might be saying, hold on a second, how did you get 5 for this length right here, right? Because our triangle, if I was to actually stop and think about the question for a second, gave me my height as 4 centimeters, but it didn't give me anything here. It didn't tell me that. Well, in order to solve that, I could actually use a good old-fashioned Pythagorean theorem. It says 4 here. Since the whole thing here was 6, then the perpendicular bisector, that's a big word, but we'll use it anyway, of that triangle would divide that base in half perfectly. So if it was 6, then this part right here will be 3, which is right here. And if you know anything about Pythagorean triangles, a 3, 4, 5 triangle is one of the most famous Pythagorean relationships there is. A 3 by 4 by 5, you can use it 3 units by 4 units by 5 units every time, and that will be true. So using my understanding of Pythagoras, I understand that the length is 5, and therefore the rectangle is 5 by 8. That was a long explanation, but kind of worth it.